Hi guys, my name is Bonnie and I'm a lawyer licensed in Alberta and Ontario. Today I'm going to be talking about my articling and things I would do again if I were given a chance to do my articling again. Now, I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. I started my journey as an ITL in 2018. And in 2019, I procured an internship in Edmonton at a construction litigation mid-sized firm. Soon after that, when COVID began, I began my articling, and it took me almost, I think, a little bit extra time to do my articling because at that time COVID restrictions were at peak. But in total, I think I spent a lot more time with articling and a legal internship altogether. But there are some things which I feel that if I were given a chance to do my articling all over again, I would really consider those. So just some ideas about, if things you should keep in mind if in case you're planning to do your articling, and things you should keep in mind if you are already doing your articling, just so you could be more productive and make yourself a better lawyer. So let's start. I think the first one would be is take more notes, or keep a file of your daily work. I'm saying this because when you're articling and when you're doing the case, you think that you're going to remember the whole facts or whatever's going on, or the disclosure, or how to, or even procedure on how to file in court or what's going on. But sometimes what happens is, even if a month after, a week after, your mind goes blank, like sometimes I forget. So I feel that I did try to take notes, but if I would have done them daily, I would have had more experience, or, something to refer back to now that I'm a lawyer. So I would say keep a journal or keep a file and try and keep those notes handy, so that you don't make mistakes again and again. The second one would be take more work. I feel that when you're articling, you don't want to, because you're preparing for your bar examination, or you're preparing for CPLED, you don't take up that much work. But I would say, because you're in such a hurry to become a lawyer, I would say at that point that seems right, but definitely try and take up as much work as you can of the firm. Why I say this is because you get a lot of experience. Now, the firm I was at, they did a lot of things like construction litigation, which is what I was articling in, employment law, again, which was I was articling in, but they also did wills and estates. And I was so oblivious, or I didn't get into that department at all, that once I started practicing, I had to do a whole course on it from York University just to get myself, aligned with that subject. So if you take up more work, it just helps you, you don't have to spend on extra courses or professional development as much. You just get that experience, practical experience from your articling. Don't miss court days. I say that because I don't know, like I personally loved going to court. I personally loved because I was into litigation. So that was my forte. Do not miss court days. Always be prepared for court days, because there were some days where there were two lawyers in my office. And if one or the other would be going to court, I would always love to join them. And there were times where I wasn't dressed enough for court, like dressed up enough or something. So I always kept like an extra extra coat or extra shoes in my car, just so I'm always ready for court and I don't miss court days. And there were days when in the last 3 months of my articling, I did a bit of family law as well, and child custody cases. So in that case, I had to go to court like almost 2 hours away from where I was working, and I really enjoyed that. And I think that really gave me a lot of experience and confidence in terms of talking to clients and facing them, and appearing in front of. Okay, so the next one is be more involved in office activities. My firm was mid-sized, so we had a lot of local activities going on. And we used to go to the community center a lot and talk about all these issues and whatever. So This does two things. Is first of all, you're very involved, so that gives you a good chance to get a higher back once you're done your articling from the same firm, if you want to work at the same firm. And secondly, it creates more community awareness. It also helps you network between lawyers, between your firm. Now, I don't know, like a lot of firms have, a few lawyers. Some firms, like bigger firms, have lots of lawyers. So that just gives you, more involvement. I would say that whole articling time should be just devoted to your articling and to all these activities, and being in court and doing all these things is very necessary, because that's what's going to help you once you become, a lawyer or a barrister and solicitor in whatever province you are in. And this is one of the things which I did a lot. I was in the first month, I was very ashamed to do it, but I felt that after, if I don't do it, I'm not going to learn, is ask a lot of questions, even if they're stupid. So because I did not do my law in Canada, I felt very lost when I started interning at the firm I was. Much before I started articling as well. And I would ask a lot of questions, even to the assistants, to the paralegals and the lawyer, because they didn't have enough time to answer my questions. So a lot of my questions would be to the paralegals, and they were quite helpful. So ask questions, see who can help you fulfill them. Try the internet. Sometimes if LexisNexis has amazing documents which you can use. If you're lost, try and write it down on a piece of paper. You have to learn things yourself. Nobody's gonna, walk you through it. Even if you're in an articling position, yes, there is some sort of teaching aspect to it. But yes, 50% of the things you will have to do yourself. So internet is your best resources. Friends who are doing articling are your, they are, again, a group of people who probably are doing articling. Paralegals, assistants, everybody in the office. And then coming to my last thing would be explore administrative work. I am saying this is because mostly after COVID, what is happening that people are actually opening up their own practices. And administrative work is something I overlooked all throughout my articling, because we had a receptionist, we had a person who would come for accounting, we had a real estate person, we had everything very systematically done, which made everything easy for me at that time. But now when I'm working on my own, or when I started working on my own, I had to figure out all the administrative work myself. And that is a very big aspect of your law practice. So when you're articling, ask questions, maybe ask what they're doing, what the procedure is, write it down, keep it with you, so that maybe later, if you move elsewhere and start working elsewhere, you have that knowledge. And if you're doing it yourself, at least you know what you're planning to do from the ground up. And even anything menial like filing or, adjusting the appointments, that is also very important, because when you become a lawyer, this is one of the main things which you should know how to do, and then only you can delegate properly. So I really hope this was useful. These were some things I missed out a little bit here and there in my articling, and I feel that if I would have done these things better, maybe I would have been a much better lawyer than I am today. With that said, I hope these tips really help you, and let me know in the comments below if you guys want to have, another session on articling, or if you have any questions or anything else. Thank you.